In psychology, there's two different sources of motivation. There's the stick approach, the thing that you're trying to run from because you're scared it's going to hurt you. It can be valid for a point. You can avoid things and make certain decisions to avoid the pitfalls. But I find a more sustaining, a more invigorating approach is the carrot approach, where there's this delicious nourishment in front of us and leads us to make very similar moves because we're driven towards vitality. We're driven towards something that we really want. So we can look at this list of neurodiverse geniuses and game changers and say, well, if they could do it, maybe I could do it. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, don't be pushed by your problems, be led by your dreams. And so we shall. Albert Einstein supposedly said everybody's a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll live its whole life believing that it's stupid. The fish is going to try, it might get to one of the lower branches and feel inferior to the monkeys who are up at the top. The monkeys might laugh, what are you doing? But throw the fish and the monkeys in the water, and then we see who swims circles around each other. There's different terrains, there's different domains of information, there's different domains of experience. And we just need to find the domain that we thrive in. We could do some synchronized swimming, dive down and explore all sorts of new worlds like Ariel's Wonderland. Don't know about in your school, but in mine, I was kind of taught that there's maybe two types of intelligence, maybe math smart and word smart, linguistic intelligence. Made me feel trapped in a box. And then if we didn't have those kinds of intelligence, maybe we thought we were less than. Not so. Intelligence is much more colorful. And the well-respected Harvard psychologist, Dr. Howard Gardner, came up with the multiple intelligences model of intelligence to say that this flow of intelligence is much more dynamic, vibrant, and multifaceted than we sometimes thought. And that by finding our unique type of intelligence, we can thrive and we can climb to new heights. He said, yeah, this white light breaks up into a bunch of different colors. So let's explore some of those together. He said that there's linguistic intelligence, or word smart, to be able to piece together thoughts and descriptions in language. Some postmodern philosophers believe that reality is all composed of words. It's all a linguistic construction. When you can change the words you use, you change your reality. Some people are word smart. Then there's logical mathematical, or logic smart, where you can calculate things and see the patterns and the geometry in reality, where these things just kind of fit into your mind and they make sense. We know that mathematics accurately describes reality because it allows a lot of our technological innovation. Some people were logical smart. If we think back to our list of neurodiverse geniuses and game changers, what about John Nash, on whom the movie A Beautiful Mind was based? He had this ability to perceive in mathematics. Some mathematicians believe that they're not inventing the math, it just exists in a realm that's almost more real than this temporal realm, and they're discovering it, like they're discovering new lands. Then there's music smart. The music of the spheres. Pythagoras was a mathematician who believed that the planets were all emitting this music, and that if we can hear it, if we can pick up on these frequencies, we can dance through life, dancing to the music of the spheres. We saw on our list there were a lot of neurodiverse musicians, because music can be this powerful expression of the soul, and it can really resonate with people beyond space and time. And then there's body smart, bodily kinesthetic. The body has immense wisdom if we can learn to tap into it. With Western dualism, we've separated the mind and the body. But if we can reintegrate these spheres, we can learn so much about the direction that comes from our subconscious mind and be able to harness this vehicle that we have. There was a pro surfer on the list, Andy Irons. He was diagnosed bipolar type 1. And he said, when he's in a manic state, everything slows down. The wave just comes to him, and he can surf way faster than his fellow competitors because it's all in slow motion. He can just get to the section and nail it. So there can be a type of body smart where we're able to access this flow state and be able to achieve things that are remarkable. And then there's visuospatial intelligence, or image smart, to be able to picture beauty, to be able to capture scenes, to be able to see the world through a certain lens. Sometimes photography is prescribed by psychiatrists for people with depression, because when you go out trying to capture beauty in the world, suddenly you're looking for beauty and you start to see it everywhere. Because the more you seek, the more you will find. And then there's interpersonal intelligence, or people smart, They say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And we're connected in this web that can be an amazing opportunity, sometimes by going into ourselves, sometimes by destroying those personas, those masks. We gain an empathy, an ability to relate to other people and pick up on the human soul because it mirrors our human soul. People smart is one of the most valuable things. And then there's intrapersonal smart, which we can see goes hand in hand with the interpersonal intelligence, or self-smart. I believe that the inner world is as infinite as the outer universe is. Just like space goes on for infinity, the inner world goes down too, and as above, so below. By discovering insights on the inside, those insights become apparent on the outside too, and transforms the dance that we do. And then finally, in Gardner's model, there's the naturalistic or nature intelligence. To be nature smart. Nature is intelligent. And when we're able to resonate with that intelligence, we can pick up on all these different layers of meaning. Often the spiritual masters would use nature metaphors to describe spiritual reality because it's the best depiction in concrete terms. It can meet you on whatever level you're ready to be met on. So if you have green fingers, that can turn into producing all sorts of nourishing fruit. Now, Howard Gardner was thinking about adding another level of intelligence, spiritual smarts, or existential intelligence, which, as that white light, can illuminate all of these different spheres. When you're able to tap into the higher dimension and navigate that well, it transforms reality into a colorful mosaic. So we'll explore that in the Beyond Chronocentrism section. If we combine those two, the list of neurodiverse geniuses and game changers, with Dr. Howard Gardner's model, look at all the different colors and types of intelligence that were represented amongst the list of neurodiverse geniuses and game changers. We have them all. That means that neurodiverse consciousness, and remember everyone's neurodiverse, can access all of these fathom spectrum of possibilities and potentialities that can enrich not only our own worlds, but the world around us, and can leave the game changed. There's an unseen dimension, and the neurodiverse can learn to discerningly navigate it, enriching ourselves and our culture. So let's chat. Which one do you personally resonate with and why?